There Might Be Lobsters by Carolyn, Crimi, and illustrated by Laurel Malk. Lots of things at the beach scared Suki. Lots. "Come on, Suki, you can do it," said Eleanor. She stood at the bottom of the stairs to the beach and waved to Suki. But Suki was just a small dog, and the stairs were big and sandy, and she hadn't had lunch yet, and her foot hurt a little, and she might get a shell stuck up her nose, and she might tumble on her head, and then she'd need stitches, and besides, there might be lobsters. So Suki sat at the top of the stairs with Chunka by her side. "Oh, all right," said Eleanor. She picked them both up with a tsk and a huff and carried them down the stairs. "Come on, Suki, you can do it," said Eleanor. She tossed a beach ball Suki's way. Suki was just a small dog, and the beach ball was big and beachy, and it might hit her nose, and then it would pop, and it might be too loud, or it might knock her down, and she might never get up again, and she might have to live on the beach forever and eat seaweed to survive, and besides, beach balls attract lobsters. So Suki sat far away from the beach ball with Chunka by her side. "Oh, Suki!" Eleanor swooped that pup up with a tsk and a huff and cradled her in her arms. "Come on, Suki, you can do it." Eleanor stood at the water's edge and splashed a little splash at Suki. But Suki was just a small dog, and the waves were big, and they were whooshy, and they were salty, and they were too wet, and they might toss her out into the middle of the sea, and she might float all the way to Tasmania, or even Florida, and she might be swallowed by a whale, and she wasn't wearing a bathing suit, and besides, there might be lobsters. So Suki sat at the water's edge with Chunka by her side. "Oh, Suki," said Eleanor. She shook her head and dove into the waves. Suki sat and watched beach balls bouncing, and big boys running, and umbrellas flapping, and lifeguards blowing loud whistles, and waves splish-splashing with Chunka. "Floating out to sea!" Suki barked for Chunka to come back. Chunka started to sink. Suki started to paddle. She paddled past a big beachy ball and through a huge salty wave over something that might even be a lobster. Until she had Chunka. He was safe. Suki had saved him. She felt braver than the bravest dog, because even though she was very small, Chunka was small. "Oh, Suki, I knew you could do it," said Eleanor. She picked them both up with a yay and a hooray, and swung them very gently through the air. Suki sat in the sandy sand with the wavy waves and watched for lobsters with Chunka by her side. And they didn't see one all day.